Welcome back to the Open Mic Broadcast Network. We have the guru on the line with us, none other than Coach Van Pettaway. Coach, how you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great, Dr. Prince. Everything is on the up and up, and it's another day that the good Lord has given us.
No doubt about it, and I can feel the warmth of your smile right now, sir. But I know we got a special meeting on the perfected heel. You're the original heel, but we got a perfected heel meeting this weekend we'll get into in just a little bit. And I hope you can continue with that warm smile and greet.
Well, one of us is going to have a smile on our face, and the other is going to have a crease in our forehead with that frown.
Yes, sir. Well, we're getting the wind beneath our wings with this basketball season. Before you know it, Coach, we'll be talking about tournament time here real soon. But so far, I guess as much to be expected with everything that's been going on. Bring us up to speed on what you've been gathering on these hardwood events, sir.
Well, on the women's side, it's the same old. It's the Jackson State Tigers. Everybody expected them to be on top of the mountain, and they are. And they're doing it at a very impressive rate. The Lady Tigers are undefeated in the SWAC. They're standing at 5-0. Grambling State is doing a pretty decent job. They're 4-1. Bethune-Cookman, Alabama A&M, and Arkansas Pine Bluff, along with Southern, are all 3-2. So that's about. The only surprise in this whole group will probably be Bethune-Cookman, because in the preseason, they didn't pick Bethune-Cookman's women to do that well, but right now they're in third place in the SWAC. So basketball is alive. Basketball is intriguing. I think one of the things that if there's a disappointment this early part of the season, it's probably going to be at Prairie View, where you all are right now 2-3. But other than that, on the women's side, and the biggest disappointment would be Alabama State, who right now is in 11th place. They're 1-4 so far in the league, and the people had picked Alabama State to finish much higher than that. But it's still early. But on the women's side, that's where we are. And then when you look on the men's side, we can all say that no one expected Jackson State to be where they are. Alabama State is 4-1. Jackson State is 4-1. Grambling State is 4-1 on the men's side. And so I think the race is wide open. The conference favorite on the men's side was supposed to be Texas Southern. They're 3-3. But I see a light at the end of the tunnel for Texas Southern. They put together a few impressive wins, so they might be on their way back.
Well, yeah, the old saying, that's why we play the games, right?
Yep.
And when you look at the Southwestern Athletic Conference from top to bottom, men or women's division, and you and I talk all the time about budgets, recruiting, and this, that, and the other. When it comes to recruiting, I know it's a different era when you were coaching. How do you offset recruiting for putting a team together? Did you even have a recruiting budget when you coached?
Right. I had one, but it was very minimal budget. But that didn't stop you from recruiting. It didn't stop me from recruiting. You still, recruiting is done by word of mouth. Recruiting is done by you getting me game tape on the athlete. The money portion comes in is me seeing you in person playing. The money comes in with me bringing you, flying you into campus. The money comes into those 2 or 3 visits that the athletes, they want to see you, number one, at their school, number 2, in their home. That's where the money comes in, because as the coach, you got to get there. And if it's an athlete that's going to make a difference in your program, you find a way. You find a way to get it done.
Okay. And I was just going to ask, how do you offset that if you are one with a challenged budget or limited resources? And the first thing I'm thinking about, I know it's not the same as being there in person, but so many games are streamed. There are Zoom meetings that you could have. Then if you would think you can eliminate at least some of the expense, and then when the rubber meets the road, this is one we need to go and see person to person. Maybe you can kind of offset your budget in that manner.
That's exactly how you do it. That's what I meant about. Well, I was saying film because we were doing film back then. But you do the CDs, you do the tape, the game tapes. Whether you go on one of these platforms and pull it down, or they send it to you. Most of the time, the parents had gotten smart. They got in the game. They didn't always rely on the high schools, because some high schools, they couldn't afford to do the games, so to take the games, and you wouldn't be able to get a tape. But a lot of the parents were doing it now. They filmed their child playing, and so you were able to get it that way. And then you had some scouting services that we would join. They would come up with the footage for you. So there are creative ways of getting footage on a kid. You can still see that kid play. Your problem comes in when that kid wants you to see them in person. And then what you would try to do is look at their schedule, find, if you can't get to their hometown, at least find a place that's close to you where you can go see that kid play.
Well, you brought up something that I kind of raise an eyebrow at, such as I do with AAU basketball, and those are these recruiting services that they get this fee from the parents and promise them that they'll get them some looks for college scholarship opportunities. Number one, in comparison to these services that are available and scholarships that are actually available, it doesn't line up to me, Coach, and it's almost like a little Charlie Hustle scam to me.
Some of them were, and that's why. Okay, the ones that got the money from the parents, as a coach, I never used those. The only scouting service I would go with were the ones where they evaluated the talent for you. They helped rank the kids, and it had nothing to do with the parents. The parents didn't have anything to do with this. You got scouting services out there that's how they make their money. They go out and see the kids. They go to the big tournaments. They evaluate. They give you a printout of their skills and their weaknesses. And then you as a coach, you determine if this kid is doing enough for you to make an investment, for you to go look at, for you to put the time in to see if you can get a tape. Those are the kind of services I use. The ones that where they prompt I know the services you're talking about. That is a joke. That is a joke, and all they're doing is taking those people money, because you got kids that are barely on the team, and their parents are paying these people to say that they're going to get a scholarship, and that never materializes. And I tell all parents, the parents that I came in contact, I told them they didn't need that for their child. If they were talking about coming to Alabama A&M, they didn't need that, and that was a waste of money.
Okay. Now, let me ask you this, Coach. I know that football does it, baseball does it, and they host camps sometimes on their own facility for kids that they might have an interest in.
Right.
How could you make that work outside of an AAU platform? Say, for example, you had you want to do a 2-day, 3-day skill camp for basketball, and you invite select kids to come be a part of this, and then you pick teams and just watch these guys interact and play. Couldn't you do something like that to help assess your recruiting on your own home turf?
Right. That's called team camp, and that's what they do now. That is the big thing that most of the colleges and universities are doing now. They call it team camp. You invite these different high schools, and in some cases, they have the AAU. They have their own circuit, but you invite the high schools to your campus, and most of the time you got these elite athletes, and you get a chance to sit there and watch them all week.
And another thing that I was thinking about, especially around the holiday season, I don't know exactly how much time, because on collegiate level, basketball starts around November. But if you did like a local, and I say local, I'm talking about local, that you can reach my campus in a 1-day trip, there and back to wherever you're coming from, you invite some of these local schools, because you can have people really a diamond in the rough right up under your nose without you knowing. You call for these local tournaments, pay them up, maybe 4 to 8 teams, and it's a win-win, I'm thinking, because you get to highlight local talent on a D1 campus in the area, and you could find a guy or two who might not be, and you can make a little money for the program advancements as well.
Right. Well, see, that can only be done in the summertime now, because you're only eligible for team camps, and the NC2A has set certain guidelines and certain times of the year, recruiting periods, where you can bring kids on campus. So that you'd have to be under that guise, and there is not one during the course of the regular season where you do that. You can have a tournament on your campus, but you can't be a part of it.
Right. Well, you know, Coach, there's always one. The doorway works two ways, right?
Yep,
one coming in, one going out.
Yep.
So you could be on a road trip, but host a tournament at your facility,
right?
And some people indirectly, you know, you could just video the whole deal and kind of look through that with some assessments of team rosters as an advanced way of scout. I don't know if Michigan is doing that, so I don't know if it's stealing from them. But anyway, you know, but just some creative out-the-box thinking ways.
Right. Well, we just missed a great opportunity on that. This past Saturday, we had the Alabama-Georgia crossover that because of weather, they were not able to hold it, but it was being hosted by Alabama A&M. You had 4 of the top 4 teams out of Georgia versus 4 of the top teams here in Alabama. I'm sorry, not 4, 5 from each state. 5 teams from each state, and that was going to be played at Alabama A&M, and it should have been this past Saturday, but because of all the snow and ice, they had to cancel that. And that was a great recruiting tool for Alabama A&M, for all these students to see that fantastic facility that they have up there. And this is the kind of thing that you were talking about, but that was being done by the city of Huntsville. The city of Huntsville was bringing that event to Alabama A&M.
Now, let me ask you this: for, you know, it's recruiting, but it's not recruiting, and you don't, you know, I guess there's a gray area. When these student athletes come to your facility, and you have like a little welcome brochure package or whatnot, and I know this sounds old school, maybe because I am old school. What's wrong with having a little trifold pamphlet in a welcome package talking about Alabama A&M basketball and the legacy of it as a potential landing spot for these future college ball players? Well,
all written material has to fall under the guise of the NC2A, and if it has to be at the right time of the year. They control that too. What you send out, when you send it out, and who can receive it. Yep.
Oh, no, I understand that, but I'm just, as a host campus, I couldn't put together a welcome to Alabama A&M Huntsville, the original Hill, established in 1875, and the legacy of what we've done, and just kind of just leave it for FYI?
Yeah. That is one of the
wow.
things. Yeah.
That's mafia-like, man. That's mafia-like. But they can't get a grip on football. Okay, we won't talk. we won't talk about that. Well, look, enough of the, as they say, of the shenanigans, Coach. We got some business to tend to this weekend, man. And,
right. Well, in the SWAC, you got some great games lined up. Alabama State will be at Prairie View this Saturday. Alabama A&M will be at Texas Southern. Jackson State is going down to Bethune-Cookman. Alcorn is in Florida A&M. Is at Florida A&M. Mississippi Valley, they're going down to Grambling. And Arkansas Pine Bluff is at Southern. So this weekend, and that's Saturday. On Monday, you got a great slate. Jackson State will be at Florida A&M. Arkansas Pine Bluff will be at Grambling. Mississippi Valley will be at Southern. Alabama State will be at Texas Southern. Alcorn State will be at Bethune-Cookman. And the one that we've all been waiting for, Alabama A&M will be at Prairie View. It'll be the Hill versus the Hill.
The Hill versus the Hill. And, you know, I'm I'm asking you ahead of time, Coach. Don't have no attitude with me on Tuesday, man, when, business is handled on Monday now, because it should be some good matchups. My Panthers, they're still trying to find their way, but they're holding their own for right now, at least.
Yes, they are, and it's going to be. I think it'll be fun because on the men's side, our team is not where they want to be. On the women's side, we're doing a little bit better, and then I know Coach Pugh is struggling out there at Prairie View, so it's going to be interesting. But I'll be watching and I'll be listening.
Yes, sir.
And when we talk next week, I just hope that you and I can still see eye to eye after Monday night.
Well, Coach, I don't think anything would come between that, but I will have a sympathy card for you ready with my signature on it, to let you know, and I know them Bulldogs are relentless and they're tough, but it's nothing like the majesty of that Black Panther, sir. So I just need you to know that, and it's going to always be good. Look, we got some championship. We got to get this in before we get out of here. Who you got going to the Super Bowl, Coach?
Well, I think I'm with the Ravens all the way. I don't care who they play. Okay. I think the Ravens are gonna. They have the defense. They got the quarterback. I'm with the Ravens.
Okay.
Ravens all the way.
Okay. Who do you think they're going to beat?
Well, this weekend they're. No.
I'm not talking about the Ravens. I'm talking about from that NFC side, for either the 49ers or the Lions.
Well, I think the 49ers are going to end Detroit's reign. So Detroit's had a great season, but I think it's going to be the Ravens and the 49ers in the Super Bowl, and I think the Ravens will come out on top.
Well, I'm thinking it's going to be the Lions to sneak through Frisco, and there's a little ironic stat that's been floating around there. The last time that the Detroit Lions won a playoff game on the road was in 1957.
Whoa.
And it was against.
That's a good year.
Against.
And it was a good year.
Yeah, that's a good year, Coach.
Yes, it
is. Guess who that opponent was in 1957?
Who?
The San Francisco 49ers.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Now look, I did not know that.
Yes,
I did not know that.
Yes, sir. So you gonna change your mind, or you gonna stick with the Niners?
Nope.
Look, hey, here's your second chance, Coach. Last chance now. Last chance.
Yeah, that's all right.
Well, Coach, look, it's always a joy to speak with you, my man, and we're gonna keep things, as they say, moving and grooving. And I'm looking forward to our next week conversation, man. And I tell you what, I'll have a maroon and white handkerchief just for you with your name on it. Well, not your name, but your initials.
And
that cost me too much.
What's that, purple and gold? Okay, we good. We good.
Coach, give us some closing thoughts, sir, and we can get ready to wrap this segment up.
Okay, well, Doc, it's been a pleasure. I enjoy talking with you about athletics, about sports and life in general. And I'd like to encourage you to continue to keep up the good work. You're doing an outstanding job, and I'm just happy to be a part of it, sir.
Well, thank you, sir. We're fortunate to have you on board with us. Even though you'll be tender come Tuesday, it's going to be all right. We're going to keep the lifeline rolling for you, sir. He is Coach Van Pettaway, our basketball guru. I'm the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince. Don't forget that you can follow me on X at The Mike Prince Show. Subscribe to the YouTube channel at the Open Mic Broadcast Network and visit our website at obnradio.com. And until the next time, you guys be blessed, and we'll see you on the other side.